VR, as an industry on the whole, there's so many hard problems yet to be solved. It really is just an open book for research and science for years to come.
It's kind of like cars 100 years ago compared to cars of today. That whole time there's been massive innovation. So maybe in 100 years I won't want to be working on virtual reality because we'll have it perfect. But until we get there, it's going to be a very exciting, really fast-moving field.
Yeah. I doubt Palmer will ever get out of virtual reality.
I'll probably die first.
That's probably true.
Right now, the community is taking off. It's exploding. And we're all on this mission to transform gaming, entertainment, the way we interact with one another. Everybody's part of the revolution.
It's the most exciting thing in technology. There's no other place which lets you create new worlds.
I've been working on a lot of research problems in academia, tracking and object recognition for many years. But VR is pretty much the first time we really have a good reason to solve all these problems.
It's probably one of the most interesting fields in technology right now, and I think as designers you really want to be on the kind of cutting edge of where things are happening.
It's not often you get to define a grammar for something new.
Well, I think in many ways those obstacles are what's fun about developing for VR right now.
I love being in a new space, and it's just a new medium. It's fun to explore. I want to be there. I want to be there day one. I want to be part of that.
Different people are going to pull different bits of magic out of this, and that brightens my day when I see a new application that does something novel or clever, and I think that was made possible by this. This is great, and I'm so happy I'm working on this.
I am very excited to be a part of something that is going to change the world, and I do believe that.
What really kind of impacts me about what we're doing here is how hard it would be for me to go back to making regular games. It's not possible.
It's amazing, amazing progress in crazy directions all over the place, but all really funneling towards this idea of consumer VR.
So I actually think that VR is maybe the most transformational technology of my lifetime. With every new technology, there are those people who see that it could possibly change the world, and that's who I think we have here today.
This isn't a team of 10 or 100. This is a team of over 100,000 people coming together to realize the dream of virtual reality.
I think we're all incredibly grateful for the impact the community's had on both Oculus and the Rift.
They're really committed to getting this right, which is something we really believe in too. And it's amazing to have been on this journey with all of these people, making virtual reality what it is today. And I know I say this all the time, but really, we're just getting started.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CEO Oculus, Brendan E. Reeb.
Experiences will be is for you to decide. Imagine you had a pair of enchanted goggles that could teleport you to any place you could imagine. Where would you go? What would you do? It's a powerful thought, and that's exactly the magic that VR makes possible. Right now, we're at the very beginning of the VR revolution, and ahead of us lies a long, incredibly exciting time of groundbreaking research and development by smart, talented people, people like you. At Oculus, we're all in on building the VR platform, but that's only part of the picture. It takes a whole community working on top of that platform to make VR happen. This is what it looks like when opportunity knocks. I hope you'll take this rare chance to shape the future and come along on the adventure of a lifetime as we make science fiction real. Thank you. So let me just say that the energy in this room around VR is unbelievable. I never thought I would have a day like this, so it's fantastic. So to get back to the real world, be back here around 11:30 for John Carmack's talk.
Once again, everybody, we ask that you please make your way into the ballroom, have a seat. We are going to begin momentarily. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CTO Oculus, John Carmack.
Thrilled. It'll be one less thing that I have to kind of work on in the different things. So,
do you know off the top of your head like what the latency and positional?
I don't know what it was, but that's actually not that important. That's something that's not immediately obvious. But all of these systems, all of the VR systems on this use the IMU for all the up-to-date stuff. It's a matter of they just need to know at some point in the past, not too far in the past, then you can go ahead and say this is where you really were and then reproject through. So if it's even 100 milliseconds, ideally less than that, but you can have a pretty long latency. As long as you know what the time was, you can recorrect from there, and it doesn't have to be, because you don't get it, there's nothing that we've got that delivers everything right now. We want 2 milliseconds latency, and you're not getting that from an optical system, in consumer gear at least.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You did mention that you were getting the camera pass-through on the Gear VR, like
yeah.
Note 4. Have you guys been doing any augmented reality kind of applications or work with the computer vision coming out of that, not just for position tracking?
Okay, so if anybody's going to do an augmented reality application, you must not stretch the camera larger than what it is, where the camera on the Gear VR is a 60 by 45, like 60 by 45, something like that degree, which is this small area in VR. And you could go do an AR experience with that. And we've got the 120 hertz camera, so it's way better for doing that than any any kind of standard AR experience using the 30 hertz camera interface. But I see lots of people then go ahead and take that camera and say, I want it to be big and stretch it over everything, which then becomes far worse than any sin we've ever created in, committed in any of our distortion calibration stuff. You don't just stretch it up over like that. So there's some work that's been done on them. I haven't seen anything that, I'm not a big fan of AR cell phone applications. Really, I've seen a lot of demos, and I think that they are technologies looking for a product, looking for a reason to exist. I've played with a bunch of them, and I am yet to be won over. It may just be a matter of that the quality is not good enough, that it needs to be 60 hertz with a 120 hertz scanner, updating all the time, not dropping and popping and having all the different problems. If augmented reality with sub-millimeter precision and no jitter with low persistence might be a very cool thing, but I've yet to see it.
Hi there. Irrespective of the resolution or the pixel density, the size of the device and the screen actually, do you feel the current size for the Note 4 is a good one? Smaller or larger would be better from the trade-offs with weight? How do you feel about that?
It is remarkably close to optimal. It is, it's very close to twice the average IPD for people. It's about where you'd want the interaxial for the lenses. We waste a little bit of display off the top and bottom with the current lenses. One of the big things that I want to push for is non-circular lenses, where ideally we would have lenses shaped to project an image that's the full, we're rendering a square image in software, and then we're throwing away the corners of it by the shape of things. So I think it's actually a pretty darn good trade-off. I mean, obviously, it would be better if we had separate cantable, interaxial, adjustable displays, but if it's going to be one display, it's almost perfect in size.
Thanks.
I mean, I guess unless they literally chase me off the stage, I can stay here answering questions until they...
Hi, John.
Yeah.
We actually are going to end for lunch.
Okay.
And if we can just take the rest of the questions offline, that would be
all
great.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.